Let me just ask you, do you think that a male prisoner convicted in a court of law on a final judgment should be allowed to claim that he is transgender in order to be assigned to a female prison?
Senator, as discussed earlier, the issue of assignment in facilities and such is one which is being actively litigated in California and may become before me. If I were to be
now all of a
confirmed,
sudden you can't answer it. You answered it in your law review article.
Senator,
You were for it. But now you can't answer it? Is that your testimony?
my testimony is that was an article from over 13 years ago, and that as a judge now, and as I have been for nearly the last 5 years, my responsibilities are to fully, faithfully, and
The truth is, you believe that a male prisoner should be able to allow at the sentencing phase to claim that he is transgender in order to be assigned to a female prison.
In a tense and revealing Senate hearing, Senator John Kennedy unleashes a powerful confrontation with one of Democrats' most controversial judicial nominees. What began as a review of her qualifications turned into an exposure of radical views, forgotten writings, and a refusal to own up to her past. This isn't just politics, it's a fight for honesty in our courts. Stay tuned to see how Kennedy pulls out receipts and leaves the nominee scrambling for answers. Senator Kennedy opens his questioning with surgical precision. He brings up a 2010 article written by the nominee titled, "An Overview of Special Populations in California Prisons." In it, she argues, clearly and unapologetically, that male prisoners should be allowed to claim they are transgender and be transferred to female prisons. Let's dive in.
Judge Lee, I don't believe you were truthful in answering Senator Lee's questions. You wrote an article in 2010 entitled "An Overview of Special Populations in California Prisons," did you not?
yes, I did.
Okay. And in that article, you argued that male prisoners should be allowed to claim they are transgender in order to be assigned to a female prison, didn't you?
As I said to Senator Lee, that was an article which arose from a symposium, which I just moderated the panel, and then summarized for the symposium edition the different arguments and issues that were raised.
Well, I've read your article, and I don't think that's accurate. You identify certain special populations, transgender people, immigrants, and racial minorities. And you're very critical of the way the California prison system treats them. For example, I'm going to quote here, your words, not mine. "The prison system relies heavily on a dichotomous sex-based means of classification. Prisoners are classified by their biological attributes rather than their gender identification. As described by one of the people in the California prison system, the classification process is gender neutral. We really don't distinguish between transgender and non-transgender inmates." Did I read that correctly?
Senator, I don't recall it word by word, but
There it
I think
is.
so. Okay.
And at the end, here's your conclusion. Your words, not mine. In conclusion, because each of these populations, including transgender, traditionally has been marginalized by American society based on their gender, race, ethnicity, or status, they are often further distanced from and marginalized by society upon incarceration. A recent president said you can fairly judge the character of a society by how it treats the weak, the vulnerable, the most easily forgotten. Did you say that?
That's what was written.
Okay. And so, but you're saying your article is just a summary of the opinions of people that you moderated?
I moderated a panel. there were 3 panelists about those different topics. That's what was represented in terms of the issues. And
Well, let me just ask you,
raised.
do you
But
think that a male prisoner convicted in a court of law on a final judgment should be allowed to claim that he is transgender in order to be assigned to a female prison?
Senator, as discussed earlier, the issue of assignment in facilities and such is one which is being actively litigated in California and may become before me. If I were to be
Now all of a
confirmed, I would
sudden you
do-
can't answer it. You answered it in your law review article. You
Senator,
were for it. But now you can't answer it? Is that your testimony?
my testimony is that was an article from over 13 years ago, and that as a judge now, and as I have been for nearly the last 5 years, my responsibilities are to fully, faithfully, and
The truth
impartially.
is, you believe that a male prisoner should be able to allow at the sentencing phase to claim that he is transgender in order to be assigned to a female prison. Now, you believe that, don't you?
Senator,
You wrote it.
again, that was a piece which summarized and came out of a symposium edition about the California prison crisis generally.
You found it at Georgetown, the Georgetown Journal of Gender and Sexuality Law Journal, did you not?
At Georgetown, I was one of the founding members. I didn't, of the.
Did you found it? Did you help found it?
I was one of the initial founding group members.
Senator John Kennedy didn't just ask tough questions, he exposed the truth that this nominee desperately tried to hide. While she danced around her past writings and affiliations, Kennedy brought the facts, her own words, her own record, and her refusal to take responsibility. He showed America that no one should get a lifetime appointment to the federal bench by hiding their beliefs behind vague legal jargon. In a time when radical ideologies are being quietly pushed into our institutions, Kennedy stood up for common sense, honesty, and the rule of law. He reminded us that judges must be impartial, not activists in robes with hidden agendas. His sharp, unwavering questioning sent a clear message. The American people deserve judges who are transparent, grounded, and not afraid to tell the truth. Senator Kennedy didn't just confront a nominee, he defended the integrity of the judiciary, and for that, he deserves credit. By the end of the exchange, the nominee is visibly shaken. Her carefully crafted image of neutrality and moderation is in tatters. Kennedy delivers the final blow. I'd respect you more if you just admitted this is what you believe. Instead, you're trying to hide it. Even Democratic senators try to step in and soften the moment, but the damage is done. The truth isn't just in what she wrote, it's in what she refused to own. His hearing wasn't just about one nominee, it was a glimpse into the kind of radical ideologies quietly shaping America's courts. Senator Kennedy didn't just ask questions. He exposed a pattern of deception, extremism, and political doublespeak. If you're watching this and believe our courts should be filled with judges who are honest and transparent, smash that subscribe button now. Let's keep holding them accountable.